Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, I'll start, wait a minute. Okay, I will start the class. So, hello everyone, today we're going to see a few problems and few good problems in array. Start with the simple ones in the beginning. So, as you all know, if you want to use array, you have to give this command in the top of your compiler. So first, we are going to witness a very simple problem. Like we'll be providing array. Like we will be giving a one array, and from that we are going to print the first five elements of that array. For example, uh, this is my array. R is my array. Yeah, I'm just saying repeat how to initialize. I'm repeating it again. You have to give this command array, and you have to represent which data types it belong to. So I'm going to give a int. So I'll be giving I, comma here I'll be giving the list of numbers I want. I'm going to give one. So I can give n number of uh, inputs here. So what is my first task is to print all the elements in this list, and my second task is to print the first five elements of this list. So how I'll be printing is I'll be using a, so I have to use two for loop here. The first for loop will give me all the elements in this list, and the second for loop will be giving the first five element of this list. So like I'll be doing the I'll be doing the second loop now. You just I will I mean somehow I mean any one of you just navigate me how to list all the elements here. Okay, I will be programming now for the first five elements of this list. For I range, I'm going to give 5 here, print I. So what should be my output now if I give enter?
Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I mean 1 2 3 4 5 6 it should be because it's 5.
6, yeah, 0 position also. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, sorry. No, I have given a wrong thing. I didn't use array here. I have to use my ARR. Then I have to use bracket. If I print it now, I will be getting up to 5. 1 2 3 4 5. So yeah, like whenever using a range, you won't get the if the range is 5, you'll be getting from 0 1 2 3 4, and you will not be getting the fifth element of it. Okay, that's how range works. And there are many. I mean, okay, you just say how to print all the elements in this array. What I have to use, like what I have to change. There's only simple change I have to do.
I in ARR dot length.
Yeah, nice. Either I can give it directly, or I should just initialize like a equal to ar dot len. Yeah, if I do this and if I use my a directly here, I'll be directly getting it. Or as he said, I can use that directly over there. But in many problems, you will be in a situation to use that length every time again and again. So it's good to initialize it separately. I mean, not directly into the range. You can just initialize it separately after declaring the array. So you can solve many kind of this problem using loops. Like you can use different kind of for loop, while loop with this arrays. So what I thought was to discuss a very important problem that will make sure you have good basics. Okay, before going to that, I also want to introduce how a multi-dimensional array works. See, this is a 1D array, right? All elements are saved in like one dimension. So if you want your array to be in what to say that in the form of matrices, you have to use something called numpy. So you don't need to install what I'm saying, but when you want to do that, what you have to do is you have to give import and then numpy. It is called numpy here for me. So if you want to install it, there are a few procedures. Like, you have to go to this file and you have to go to the settings and you have to touch this Python interpreter. Like, there will be few list here and you have to choose a project for Python 4, and after clicking that you'll be able to find the Python interpreter. And after, I already installed numpy, so what you have to do is you have to click this plus marks to install. After going here, you should print your what you want. Like, if you want numpy, you have to type that. My numpy is already I've installed it, but if you want to install, like for example, if you want to this numpy arc, if you click this here, it will ask you install package here. So after clicking that, it will take some time. I mean, it differs, like for depends on your network, it depends on your system, it will take a long time, like 3 to 5 minutes. So it's better skipping it now. I just want to see, I mean, you will not be using multi-dimensional like every single time. You'll be using it at very few points. So what okay, after introducing numpy, so what is the use of it? Means, like, you don't need to declare all these. Like, see, if you want to declare array over here, what are you doing? You're giving a variable for it, and you're giving a command called array, and you're declaring which data type it belongs to, and then you're giving a list, right? If you're going to do that with numpy, you don't have to do all these things. You can just simply do it. Like, you know how we'll be declaring a equal to, like, within this you'll be able to declare a, see, I will be printing this now. I don't need to, oh, I'm sorry. I made a apostrophe mistake here. Okay, so what is my goal today is to, so this will be a first big problem here. So the problem of the day will be, so I will just say the statement. If you have any doubt in that statement, you just ask me now. So what I'm going to do is, we are going to give a list of numbers, like a list of array. Like, I'm going to give something like this. I'm going to give a list of numbers. It will be random: 1, 2, 8, 45, 78, 90, 34, 56. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, after giving this array, I'm going to find, I'm going to make a function for this problem statement. Like, the function, what that function does is, after giving this particular array, it will multiply each pair of it. Like, if you take this particular list, 2 and 3 is a pair, 2 and 8 is a pair, 2 and 4, you know what is pair is, like a two element in a two element is a pair, right? A two element in a single element is called pair. So which pair has the maximum value, that should be output. For example, if you take this list, which has the, which two element will have the, which have the highest product. Like, if we take 2 and 3, it will become 6, 2 and 8, it is 16, 2 and 45, it's 90. So you know how this works. So if you just look at it, you'll be knowing that 90 and 78, obviously this pair should give the highest number of highest value of product, right? This two elements should do that, right? I mean, you got my statement, what I'm trying to say. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me again. Yeah, what's your doubt? I mean, everyone understood the statement, or I will repeat it again.
Yeah, it's fine. We understood.
Okay, fine. So,
Got it.
okay, this is a problem statement. So, I will just explain you with first I will explain you how the algorithm which we are going to do. Then I will print. I mean, then we will go into. So the problem statement will be. Okay. So I will just explain how this will be working now. So let's take example of array. So this is how array will be looking. This is what the array is. Okay. So I will make a small example in it. Like if you are going to have numbers like 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 and 33. Okay, let's take this is your array. So in this array we are going to find the pair which will have the which has the highest product value. So if you just look upon it, we'll be able to find out the highest numbers are 33 is the first highest number, and the second highest number is 8, right? So obviously this should has the so this pair should have the highest value of highest value of output. So for finding this, what we are going to do is you are going to make a function. So why function? So function is a recursive process which will give the output based on the conditions we are going to give. So we obviously know that we are going to there will be a lot of recursive function to find it out. So we are going to make a function over here. So inside that function, what are the conditions we are going to do? The first condition, or how we are going to uh, check each element with check each element with the other element. That's now I'm going to make you imagine. Like for example, how we are going, how system will able to system will able to compare the element with other. No, I will just show you now. For example, if you're taking this particular this first array, this array, element in the first index, it will compare this with this element. Okay, so 4 into 5 it will keep it as 20. Okay, then this will compare with the next element. So 6 4s are 24. It will keep aside. So what it will do, it will multiply everything with this index to the last element until it's doing its last element. It will multiply this, it will multiply this, it will multiply it, and it will store along this. So in this, when you're doing with the first index, your highest value will be 4 into 33, right? This holds the highest value. Then what will happen? Then the pointer will just go into this point. So this fifth element will start multiplying with this element, this element, this element, this element, this element. So while multiplying the second element with all the elements in the array, here your highest product value will become again 5 into 33. So moving on, this will happen with the same thing, like every element will be multiplying with the element after that. Can you see one thing, like we are not going backwards? Why is it so? Because obviously you would have multiplied that number in the before step. Like when you see here, we are not multiplying a 5 with 4, because in the in the last in the first process itself you are multiplying 4 with the 5. So it's same, we don't want to do that again, right? So we have did so we'll be doing that in the first process. In the first step itself. So this is how it will run recursively, and this is what the function we are going to give. Now I will come to algorithm. like how I'm going to make system understand to perform in this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this array into differentiate this array into two different parts. Like this is the same array, so this will be the original array. Okay, let's keep this original array. In my second array, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one index value so that the system will be able to identify it. Like for example, if this is 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4. Okay, let's take this array as this. When you are giving like how will be using, what will we use to do this kind of things. Like if you want to do a recursive loop, we'll be using for, right? So for using for, what are the things we'll be using? Like how will represent for I in array, and here we'll be giving a conditions, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change change array. I'm going to move this array to just one step before how that naturally looks. For example, if this is how this array normally looks, I'm going to change all the index to one point front of it. Like I'm going to take this 5 and put it in the first part of this, and put 6. Take the 6 and put it in the second part of this. Like it's in the third part, but when I'm dividing it, I'm just making sure that I'm going to make every part of it in the before the index. 7 1 2, same story. Like you may think, why I'm doing that? Like what is the use of doing this? See, if I just make this into a two different array, and if I start to initialize this all in this particular way, it will be very easy for me to multiply this. See, if I will not be able to multiply this same this element with the same array again and again. You have to make n number of if I want to do this whole problem and only with this particular array, I have to make n number of conditions, isn't it? See, I have to make first I have to make multiply this element with this one, and this element with this one, and this element and this index with this one. So this will be a very long process. So to make it to a very simpler way, I'm just converting this particular array into 2, and in one of the array I will be making I will be minusing one index from the beginning to the end. So just because I did this, it will be very easy for, so this will be my given array, this will be my this array what I made. Okay, so in this array so what will happen if I multiply this ARR into ARR1, what will happen? I'll be getting all these outputs from first to beginning. See, look at it. 4 into 5, 4 into 6, 4 into 7, 4 into 1, 4 into 5. I'll be getting all this, and again I'll be able to multiply all this. So this will make sure that I will be able to multiply all the elements from the first one. Like how this works in a sense. If this is ARR, the index starts from 0. Here will be ARR index minus 1. Okay, I'm just going to I just took one particular, I just changed one particular index from this array. Okay, and okay, I will just say the condition. What is the main condition we're going to use? So what should be our condition? So we are going to make a pair A comma B. Like if I'm multiplying 4 and 5, this is 4 and 5. I'm just giving an example. So if A and B, what should this A and B hold? This A and B should have the highest value compared to all the A and B, all other A and B from this given array, right? So I mean, if you take this particular problem, this 8 and 33, this particular pair should hold the highest value compared to all the other pair in this list, right? In this particular array, right? So this should be our condition. For making it completely recursive, what we should do, after each and every cycle of it, we are going to save the original values to it. For example, if okay, I will just teach. Okay, I will explain you this itself. In the first step, what I'm doing is I'm going to give value of a and b as 4 and 5. Okay, it's a and b, this will be equal to 4 and 5. So in the first step, it will be checking a into b is less than a into b, because in the first step itself the value of this is same. So this is not this will be equal to a and b, right? A and b will be equal to a and b. I'm sorry, this is the index 0 comma 0, 0 comma 0, correct? The a comma 0 is this particular index, and b comma 0 is this particular index. So while I'm multiplying this, this rule will be failing. So what will happen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this a and b to a I'm going to save a and b to a new value. Like I'm going to give a new variable called x equal to a and y equal to b. So you may think, why we need x and y here? See, if you are not using a and b here, for example, I'm saying if the first number is 4 and 5 and the second element is 5 and 6. Okay, so if you multiply these two numbers, 4 and 5 is 20, 5 and 6 is 30. What the computer understand, if you are not using a temporary variable, it will just quit the program here, because 30 is greater than 20. It won't proceed to the next step, or it won't compare any other pair in this particular array. After completing this particular statement, it will print your result as 30 is the largest number in this whole array. So 5 and 6 is your exact pair. That is wrong, right? That is absolutely wrong. So that's the reason we are making we are giving a temporary variable where this will help this program to run recursively from the beginning and comparing all the elements to the end. Okay, I mean this is tough actually. It will take some time to understanding. It will take some time for understanding this completely. I will just do the coding now. Okay, after I did the coding, you just ask what are all the doubts here. You just listen or consider whatever I'm saying now. After now I'll start coding for this particular program. Like after I completed the coding, you just ask whatever you'll be having doubt for sure. So after I completed coding this, you just ask me one by one. Okay, like if any one of you have any doubt for now, if you feel you're not clear, just wait for the coding. Like you have any problem in the base, you understood how I'm processing it. Even if you didn't understood the steps in it, you understood the base process of what I said, right?
Yes, it is understandable.
Okay, fine. So as I said, I'm going to do a function. So let's take so whenever you're going to use function, we have to use this def, and I'm going to give a name this function as max, because we need a maximum value of maximum product value, right? So max. So I'm going to give a name for arrays AR. This is my array. This is argument and giving it as ARR. So first I'm going to check how many how many number of elements are there in the list. For example, if I'm going to get a list like this, is this list, we will be able to find the answer for this particular list? No, because there is only one element, there is no pair at all. Will not be this whole function will not work. So for these kind of things, we are going to make we are going to do a if statement in the beginning. If first for that we are going to find the length of the array. So for length of the array, ARR len, we are going to make length so ARR len holds the length of the value. For example, if I'm giving the 5 elements in it, after giving that an input, this ARLN will take the number of elements. Like if I'm giving 7, 8, 9, 10, if I give 4 values, this ARLN will have it will have the value of 4 because I've given 4 values. Okay, to just check whether the list I'm giving has a pair, to check that. So after this, I'm going to have a print statement. Sorry, before print, I'm going to make a if condition. If array length is greater than it's lesser than 2, print only one element. I don't understand up to this process, right? Why I'm giving this first condition?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to initialize the product for it. So okay, let it like this. So first I'm going to give a initial value of for both the temporal variables. First I'm going to introduce a variable called temporal x. This x will hold the value of, this will hold the first element value, first element in the first index, and then y will have the second element. Okay, so if I do that, what will happen? So what will happen? X, we'll be saving this 4 to this x and 5 to this y for comparing like this. To compare 4 with 5, compare with 4 with 6. To make this process, I'm just saving that in 2 different arrays. Okay. For implementing this process, I will be using a for loop now. Like, so now I will be using a for I in range. So what should be my range for the first loop? This is my first array. Okay. So what is my length for this? It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the last element, right? So it should be 0, comma, array length. Array length is up to the last. What is array length? If I have 20 elements, my array length will be 20. So the range will be 0 to 20. What this implies is you will be able to go through all the elements from the first index to the last to the nth index of it. Okay. So after giving this line, I'll be giving another for loop for j in range z. Okay, now you say, wow, which index I should use? What should be my value here? Here we used 0 to the length, array length. So in this second loop, see, normally if you're giving a loop inside a loop, it depicts that we are going to run. See, if this is your first loop and this is your second loop, what it naturally does is it will choose the first element in the first loop. Like for I in 0, comma AR length and sense, it will take the index of 0 and it will come to this second loop, and with just having this 0 as the first element, it will complete all the combinations with 0, like 0, comma 1 of the first element, 0, comma 2 of the second, 0, comma 2, 0, comma 3, 0, comma 4, 0, comma 5. This second loop will only end if this first index completes. Okay, until then it will always run to from first to the last element. It will run. So after this first element completed complete all its indexes in the second array, this I will change to the second element of it. In the sense, it will go to the index number 1. So while going into the phi, what it will do, it will again start to compare the elements on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This will run in visual, and again it will go to this after completing all the element. After this phi completes all the elements in this second array, it will again come to the first loop, and the index number will add. So that's why we are using this for I in range 0, array length. So what should be my length in the second array? I mean, what should be the range in my second array for J? Any guess?
1 to array length.
Yeah, it's correct. 1 to array length. So after this we should, so now we should start giving the conditions now. If array I, in the sense array from the first loop, if it is when we multiply this with the array from the second loop, this should be lesser than the value which we got in the beginning. So it should be lesser than the value of x into y. Okay, suppose if this rule breaks, if this elements have the higher number of value than this x into y, what this should do, like we should change the value of x and y to this particular array length. This, like we should change it to, we should change the value of x arr I y equal to arr j. So I mean, can anyone say? Wait a sec, I'll bring the charger. I'm sorry, I just had a problem. So okay, after completing this, so I mean, can anyone say why I'm just changing the value of x and y here? Why I use this particular line?
Then it will be equal to x into y.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what it implies. I mean, why I'm using it? In the sense, how this will help to this whole process. I mean, if I change this value of x and y,
Jump in next element.
what? Okay, someone said something. That's fine.
We are assigning the highest values to x and y. So
Yeah.
later on, when we are multiplying x and y, we'll get the biggest numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Maximum.
Exactly. Yeah, what is it right? So this will help us to make sure that in this point, this x and y holds the highest value in, I mean, up to the process what it has done. This x and y holds the highest value. So again, going to this loop, if another value, if it finds another value which is much more, which has a more value than this multiplication, what it will do? It will again store the value of I and j in this x and y. So that is why we are using this particular loop in this problem. Okay, this point is very important, and if you understand this will be very simple. So here we have to use return. So return, we should return x and y. So where this x and y will work in the sense, this whole for loop will come out. I mean, this whole for loop will end only when it finds the highest value in this whole process. Until then, it will run. See, if you just compare these both elements, this 4 and here this should be the last pair to check. Okay, so it will be checking like this. Okay, first element will check with all the elements secondary, second element will check with all the elements in the secondary. So this will happen in a loop, and it will keep on going to the last element of first array, and this will multiply from the first element and to the last element, right? So when it completes the last element, that is the only moment this both for loop will end. Until then it will run. I mean, even if you have the biggest number in the first two numbers, okay, even if you have that, you will be you won't get your complete answer after the first step, even though you'll be multiplying first element to second element. I mean, you will be getting all these processes. So that's how it actually works. So if you return your x comma y, so let's give a value here. Let's make nums as a new list. So here let's give some 33. Okay, let's give only, first we will give only one element to check the first if statement. Okay, so print max ARR. Okay, so what should be my output now? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I did a mistake. So what should I print is, I should print maximum product maximum product pairs, and then I have to give a comma, and now I have to give max nums. So okay, so if I give my print statement here, what should be my output?
Only what is it?
Only one element. What array I got?
Actually, the I array 1 should be in the loop, I guess, or in the else statement, because first index is not defined and you are using it. That's why it is giving us the error.
What is it? Say it again.
Actually, we are using the first index also, but first index is not defined. That's why I guess it is showing an error to us. You should put the complete in the else. Like,
I mean, you're saying this part into else. Actually,
from the 8th line, it should be in the else.
Actually, there is no.
From the 8th.
You can do that normally itself. I am very sure, but I don't know why I'm getting this error. Actually, you can do that normally. You don't need to have.
Sir, you used y equal to ARR1, right?
Yeah.
But ARR1, is it exist?
Yeah, that's
if
why
it does not. Yes, if it does not exist, then how can you assign it to the y? If you just commented y ARR1,
I mean, that's what I'm initiating it, right? I'm not. Okay, what you're asking is how I'm initiating ARR which I have not defined.
Yes, ARR1 means it does not contain any value, but you are assigning it to the y. But if just first make the y equal to ARR1, just comment it and then run it. I guess it will run.
So I mean, what you're saying is I have to define array before, or let's say that second.
No, just first Can you please comment it y equal to ARR1? Just only this line only, or you can cut also.
What I have to cut? ARR equal to. Okay, AR. You're saying ARR.
It's just trying to say that at line number 1 5, you just added only one element, and you're trying to access at line number 8 y is equal to ARR of 1. So that's causing. Yeah.
Yes, that says the error. Put everything in the else. Let clear everything. Just put the eighth line in the else. Yes, else. Then put rest of the things in the else.
This is what I said it right.
Mistakenly, you removed the line of return as well.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Now it's right.
Yes, sir. Now it will run, I guess.
Yeah, right. No, but actually, I did this without. I mean, there is no need. You have to do an else part. I don't know what mistake I did. Actually, I did that without else part. I mean, there is no need. Right? You have to give a else. No, just before. Doing this class,
Sir, actually, in array you have defined only the one element, right?
Yeah. I've defined only one element. Like the second element comes. I mean, you're saying because I'm introducing a new one, I have to use else. Maybe I did something wrong. Oh, okay. Fuck. I mean, sorry. I missed. I have to give a return here. I just missed that particular line. If I did that, it would have been proper.
Yes. If
Yeah.
you did that, then
Yeah.
it will be
I forgot
totally
to,
fine.
Yeah, I forgot to return it. Okay. So if I'm just giving.
There are various ways to do, like we can put in the else or use the return command like you want to use.
Yeah. You can do anything. No, I was just I just forgot it. I mean, I was just thinking, what did I miss? I did everything right. Okay, fine, totally fine. Okay, so I mean, I guess whoever replied now, they know coding already, but I just want the new people to talk now. Like whether you understand this completely or you have any doubts in it. Anand, like everyone understood this? Whatever I taught now.
I mean, yes, it is sort of understanding,
Okay.
not fully able to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you are very new, like this will be tough actually.
Right.
You should understand the loops, how that basically works. After
Right,
that
right.
only you'll be able to understand it completely. Like, okay, I mean, at least you got the idea how that works.
Yes, sure.
Okay,
Yes.
other one. Okay.
Definitely.
I will just give you a very small work now. Like I've made this problem for multiplication. So what I need this same program to happen for both. This is for only multiplication, right? So I want a problem which has highest value in addition. Okay, and you have to find like another problem, and I mean in a same. I mean you should use three different functions for a same set of array, where I have given a problem for multiplication here. So you should do addition, which has the highest number of highest value after adding two elements. Like if you take this, which should has the highest value like 88 and 40, right? For that I need you to do the same loop thing. See, you can also do the same by finding the first highest value and second highest value, but I don't want you to do that. See, the most you are getting practiced with loops, you're being good with your programming language. Otherwise, if you're trying to make shortcuts in those if you're trying to get away from doing loops and doing if statements, while statements, you won't get better with your programming language. So I want you all to do addition. I mean, I have did a multiplication here, so I want all of you to do a addition box and subtraction part. And in subtraction, I need the high. I mean, I need the least value of it. Like if I'm subtract if I'm subtract. I mean, I need the highest value of it. Like if I'm subtracting 40 minus 4, I will get 36. And if I subtract, if I'm getting another number like 40 minus 40, that will be 0, right? So I want the highest number of it. In the sense, you should not find the lowest value of it, you should find the highest value in the difference of two pairs. You understood this? See, if you take this problem, the if you minus 40 with 88, you'll be getting 48, right? That is the highest difference in this particular problem. So I want that highest value to be your answer. Okay, so just try to do it in the 10 minutes, or if anyone do that in the lecture, that'll be good. I mean, I thought you just have to follow whatever I said for now. We have to just change the conditions. Except that everything was same. Like for addition and all, you have to just change the symbol. At least for multiplication, you have to change uh, few operators. You know, for few value operators. Like other than both are same. So just try to do that in the next 10 minutes. You know. Yeah, I'll be waiting. Like if you have completed, just give that in a comment section. Like I will show the code. I will just wait for 5 6 minutes. Like you just change, try to do it. If you're completed, just raise your hand. I will just ask you to screen share.
நீங்க தான் ஃபோன் பண்ணீங்களா உங்களுக்கு? ம் ம் இதை பேசிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அப்புறம் காய் வாங்க காய் இல்லைங்களா அப்படின்னாங்க. காயெல்லாம் நான் வாங்கிட்டு வந்துட்டேன் முன்னாடி அப்படின்ட்டு வந்தேன். இல்லை நியாயமா விட யார் தான் திருப்பி கேட்கலான்றதுக்காக நம்ம பாட்டு பேசலாம் அவங்கலாம். ஏதோ நம்மளால முடிஞ்சா கொடுப்போம், இல்லை கொடுக்கலையா விட்டுட்டு போயிடும். அப்போ அந்த அவங்களாம் சமைக்கிறவங்களாம் வராங்க, அவங்களுக்குலாம் நீங்கள் எவ்வளோ காசு தரீங்க? ஒரு 200-300 கொடுத்தா என்ன? கொடுத்தாலும் ஏன் அடுத்தவங்க பற்றி பேசுறீங்க? சார்ஜர் வேணுமாண்டா அந்த இதில் அந்த பவியல நிற்கிறாங்களாண்டா பாவம். அது அங்கேயே இருக்குது, ஆனா அதுல இல்ல. இதுல என்ன பாருங்க? இல்ல எங்க
completed. Now at least tried it. At least try to. Trying it.
Yes, sir, I'm trying. Raises my
Yes,
hand.
Yes, sir.
I have also tried.
You're completed.
I
You got
tried the
answer.
subtraction.
Okay, fine. Like if you did
But
subtraction.
sir, your multiplication code is showing the same result. Means, can you please show your code? Like you will be getting in the output 88 and the 88, but it should be 40 and 88.
What you got as your output?
Like in the output, we should get the 40 and 88 because the multiplication of 40 and 88 will give me the highest, but there are not 88 is not coming the 2 times. Then how can I getting the 88 and 88 in the result?
What you need as your output? Like you gave this particular array as your input, or you gave other input?
Yes, sir.
This particular array.
No, I gave the same input. Like you are getting the maximum product pair is 88, 88.
What you got? 40, 88 only got, right?
But we should get the 40, 88.
That is
But
the right
we are
answer.
getting.
Yeah, just now I'm checking. Like I would have. I should wait. I will just do this particular thing. Wait. I will check it now. Now it will work.
Means sir, in algorithm में तो I can never be is equals to j. I guess it should be because the index should not be the same.
See, the what it will do, it will just compare the same index with it. Okay. So that's where the problem, you're getting the same output. Either you should.
Yes.
I should just
Maybe
minus
you-
this.
I should not equal to j.
You should give that condition before. You should give that condition, or you won't get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? You can also make it as either you have to give it, or you won't get that in count. Wait a sec, I will just check how I can change it.
Yes, sir. You should place the complete if in the statement like I should not equal to j, because by using this the index can never be the same.
Yeah. What you said is right. If I do that, oh wait, what did I do? Can I screen share your program? I mean, can you screen share? I will allow you to do it.
Sir, wait, even I am also not getting the correct answers, but I am trying.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You just check it. I will just check what I did.
Just give me 2 more minutes.
Okay, fine. Yes. It's simple. Yeah, I just missed you. Like, if I'm just giving it, I should have given that I plus 1. Now I'll be getting it properly. See, got it? Because you can, I mean, if I'm not giving I plus 1 here, it will that's where it is just comparing the last element with this. So even if it goes to a point where n, your j will become n plus 1, so we'll be getting the proper output. You got it? You got it now? What mistake we did?
Yes, sir, I got it. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's why you don't have to make that both should be. You don't have to make the condition. I was thinking, okay, I just missed it. Okay, fine. Like anyone tried for others tried for multiplication or not? I mean, sorry, subtraction or addition. Okay, just
I have tried for addition, sir, but I haven't imported NumPy till now, so it is not working.
I mean, if you're not introducing NumPy, you can just initialize it like. Sorry, wait. Then do this thing like. Array. Do a conventional thing. What we used to do. Make this comma, and if you're doing this, you should get the output. Okay. So there is no different. There won't be there won't be any difference.
Yeah, Surya.
Yeah.
I also tried the subtraction one, but instead of getting a pair of output, I'm just getting a single output. And I don't know where the problem is.
Okay, if you're doing subtraction.
Right.
Sir, I did it for the positive, for the addition as well.
Okay, great.
But I used the different logic, like.
I mean, yeah, you can do n number of logic. If you have learned other programming language, you would have used to it, so you can use anything. Like what do you
Yes,
use?
like
what do you use it?
you have used their I plus 1, but I have used the like I should not be equal to the j, so
Okay,
that
I mean,
the same element
same
not
thing
come
will, same
twice.
thing will come. You can I mean you can either use that condition. I mean separate condition for it. Or you can just use that in your argument box. That's fine. That's great actually. If you are doing that on your own, that's very fine. So I mean, is that define how multiplication works? This is how this will come. Yeah, if you look at this, this will be having the highest difference in subtraction, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't. Highest difference. Highest difference varies. So you should get this like 88 and 9 has highest difference. This has a difference of 79. Sorry, 77. So 79 only. Yeah. So you got this very.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I guess we should get the 88 and 4.
Yeah, correct. We should get 88
in the minus because 76.
Yeah, right. I mean, right. You'll be getting around 80, 84, right? Where it's stopping?
Oh yes.